Hi all, now we are going to discuss about some important terms and important definitions. Let's move on to the topic now. What is crop? When plants of the same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means all the plants grown in a field or that of wheat. Kharif crops. The crops which are sown in the rainy season are called Kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut and cotton are Kharif crops. Rabi crops. The crops grown in the winter season are called Rabi crops. In India, from October to March is winter season. An example of Rabi crops are wheat, gram, pear, mustard and linseed. Basic practices of crop production: preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting and storage. These 7 are basic practices of crop production. Ploughing or tilling. What is ploughing? The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called ploughing or tilling. This is done by using a plough. Manure and fertilizers. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. Crop rotation. What is crop rotation? Replenishing the soil with the nutrients is through crop rotation. This can be done by growing different crops alternately. Earlier, farmers in northern India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. This helped in the replenishment of the soil with nitrogen. Advantages of manure. The organic manure is considered better than fertilizers. This is because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil and it makes the soil porous, due to which exchange of gases becomes easy, and it increases the number of friendly microbes and it improves the texture of the soil. What is irrigation? The supply of water to crops at regular intervals is called irrigation. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil and season to season. What is weeds? In a field, many other undesirable plants, that means unwanted plants, may grow naturally along with the crop. These undesirable plants are called weeds. Weeds are also controlled by using certain chemicals called weedicides and like 2,4-D. These are sprayed in the fields to kill the weeds and they do not damage the crops. The weedicides are diluted with water to the extent required and sprayed in the field with a sprayer. Harvesting. Harvesting of a crop is one of the important tasks in agriculture. The cutting of crop after it is mature is called harvesting. In harvesting, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. It usually takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to mature. Harvesting in our country is either done manually by sickle or by a machine. Animal husbandry. Animals reared at home or in farms have to be provided with proper food, shelter and care. When this is done on a large scale, it is called animal husbandry. Microorganisms. There are other living organisms around us which we normally cannot see. These are called microorganisms or microbes. Viruses. Viruses are also microscopic but are different from other microorganisms. They, however, reproduce only inside the cells of the host organism, which may be a plant, bacterium or animal. Common ailments like cold, influenza and most coughs are caused by viruses. Serious diseases like polio and chickenpox are also caused by viruses. Fermentation. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation in 1857. Antibiotics. The medicines kill or stop the growth of disease-causing microorganisms. Such medicines are called antibiotics. These days, a number of antibiotics are being produced from bacteria and fungi. Penicillin. In 1929, Alexander Fleming was working on a culture of disease-causing bacteria. Suddenly, he found the spores of a little green mold in one of his culture plates. He observed that the presence of mold prevented the growth of bacteria. In fact, it is also killed many of these bacteria. From this, the mold penicillin was prepared. Pathogens. Microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause disease in human beings, plants and animals. Such disease-causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Some microorganisms spoil clothing, food and leather. Communicable diseases. Microbial diseases that can spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food or physical contact are called communicable diseases. An example for communicable diseases are cholera, common cold, chickenpox and tuberculosis. Preservatives. Salt and edible oils are the common chemicals generally used to check the growth of microorganisms. Therefore, they are called preservatives. We add salt or acid preservatives to pickles to prevent the attack of microbes. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite are common preservatives. These are also used in jams and squashes to check their spoilage. Pasteurization. The milk is heated to about 700 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly chilled and stored. By doing so, it prevents the growth of microbes. And this process was discovered by Louis Pasteur and it is called pasteurization. Pasteurized milk can be consumed without boiling as it is free from harmful microbes. Inexhaustible natural resources. These resources are present in unlimited quantity in nature and are not likely to be exhausted by human activities. Example for inexhaustible natural resources are sunlight, air. Exhaustible natural resources. The amount of these resources in nature is limited, so they can be exhausted by human activities. An example for exhaustible natural resources are wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, forest, natural gas. Petroleum. Petrol is used as a fuel in light automobiles such as motorcycles, scooters and cars. Heavy motor vehicles like trucks and tractors run on diesel. And petrol and diesel are obtained from a natural resource called petroleum. In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association advises people how to save petrol diesel while driving. The tips are: drive at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible. Switch off the engine at traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. Ensure correct tire pressure and ensure regular maintenance of the vehicle. Refining of petroleum. Petroleum is a dark, oily liquid. It has an unpleasant odor, and it's a mixture of various constituents such as petroleum, gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. The process of separating the various fractions of petroleum is known as refining, and it is carried out in a petroleum refinery. Fossil fuels. Some exhaustible natural resources like coal, petroleum and natural gas. These were formed from the dead remains of living organisms. So they are all known as fossil fuels. Combustion. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. Fuel. The substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible. It is also called a fuel. The fuel may be solid, liquid or gas. Ignition temperature. The lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called ignition temperature. Inflammable substances. The substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Example of inflammable substances are petrol, alcohol, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Rapid combustion. We find that the gas burns rapidly and produces heat and light. Such a combustion is known as rapid combustion. Example for rapid combustion: cooking oil, petrol, diesel. Spontaneous combustion. The type of combustion in which a material suddenly bursts into flames without the application of any apparent cause is called spontaneous combustion. There are substances like phosphorus which burn in air at room temperature. Explosion. We generally have fireworks on festival days. When a cracker is ignited, a sudden reaction takes place with the evaluation of heat, light and sound. A large amount of gas formed in the reaction is liberated. Such a reaction is called explosion. Explosion can also take place if pressure is applied on the cracker. Calorific value. The amount of heat energy produced on complete combustion of 1 kg of a fuel is called its calorific value. The calorific value of a fuel is expressed in a unit called kilojoule per kg. Deforestation. For centuries, wooden was used as a domestic and industrial fuel, but now it has been replaced by coal and other fuels like LPG. In many rural parts of our country, people still use wood as a fuel because of its easily availability and low cost. However, burning of wood gives a lot of smoke, which is very harmful for human beings. And it causes respiratory problems like asthma and all. Also, trees provide us with useful substances which are lost when wood is used as a fuel. Moreover, cutting of trees leads to deforestation. Global warming. Combustion of most fuels releases carbon dioxide in the environment. Increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the air is believed to cause global warming. Global warming is the rise in temperature of the atmosphere of the earth. This results, among other things, in the melting of polar glaciers, which leads to a rise in the sea level, causing floods in the coastal areas. Low-lying coastal areas may even be permanently submerged under water. Acid rain. Burning of coal and diesel releases sulfur dioxide gas. It is an extremely suffocating and corrosive gas. Moreover, petrol engines give off gaseous oxides of nitrogen. Oxides of sulfur and nitrogen dissolve in rainwater and form acids. Such rain is called acid rain. It is very harmful for crops, buildings and soil.